we will learning conditional statements. In this world of internet today, we are all vulnerable to several mishaps, and our safety is at stake. Today, to ensure safety of the people over the web, most of the organizations have developed a secure way to provide access to the confidential information. Often to access this information in the web portal's password is required. To consider an example, whenever we log into our email account, the first thing we enter is our user ID and password. Now, if we remember the user ID but are not sure about the password and enter a wrong password, then you won't be able to access our account. Let us understand how such scenarios are handled in Python programming using conditional statements. Learning conditional statements. In a program, the statements are executed one by one in a sequential manner. However, sometimes we may like to change the order of execution of the statements. This can be done using control statements. Conditional statements are nothing but some checks or constraints. Conditional statements are part of our everyday lives. As human, we can think about situations and make decisions based on what we observe or know to be true or false. For example, if it is raining out, then we will have to stay inside. Or if it is my birthday, then I can have a birthday cake. In programming, conditional statements handle cause and effect relationships, if this, then that. Let's now quickly learn about some of the most common conditional statements in Python. Okay, now let us talk about if statement. The if statement consists of if keyword followed by a condition. When the Python interpreter evaluates an if statement, it evaluates the condition first. After the condition is evaluated, the condition returns a Boolean value. It can return either true or false. If the condition returns true, then statements written just after the if condition are executed, and if the condition returns false, then the other sets of statements succeeding if statements are executed. Program 1. Create a program to check whether the PIN no entered by a user is correct or not. Assume the correct PIN no is 4553. Let's walk through the code. Line 1. Declare a variable to store user's actual PIN number. Line 3. The condition is evaluated whether the PIN number entered by the user is equal to the actual PIN number. Line 4. If the condition evaluates to true, the statements written just after that if statement will be executed. Program 2. Create a program to check if two numbers entered by the user are equal or not. Let's walk through the code. Line 1, Line 2, a use input function to enter two numbers. Line 3, the if statement will check if the values stored in variable num1 and num2 are equal or not. Line 4, if the condition is true, both the values are equal, then the print statement will execute. At first, the if statement seems to be perfectly working. But what if the pin no entered by the user is incorrect, or what if both the numbers entered by the user are not equal? In that case, no error message will be displayed to the user. Imagine you entered a wrong password, and your email service provider does not show any error message in return. This may lead to lot of confusion. Such situations can be easily handled using the if-else statement in Python. About if-else statement. Now we know that when the condition is evaluated, it can either return true or false. The if-else statement is used when we want to execute another set of statement depending on the Boolean value returned by the if condition. In simple terms, if the condition returns true, then statements written after the if statement execute. If the condition returns false, then statements written just after the else execute. Now, let's understand the concept better with the same example. Program 3. Check if two numbers entered by the user are equal or not. Let's walk through the code. Line 1, Line 2, input two numbers in variable num1 and num2. Line 3, the if statement checks if the values stored in the variables num1 and num2 are equal or not. The condition will return Boolean value either true or false. Line 4, if the value returned by the condition is true, then numbers are equal will be displayed. Line 5, if the value returned by the condition is false, then numbers are not equal will be displayed. Let's practice programs. Program 4. Create a program to enter a number and check whether it's a positive or negative number. Program 5. Create a program to find whether a number is even or odd. Program 6. Create a program to check if it is a two-digit number or not. Program 7. Create a program to find the greatest number out of the two numbers. Students, let's learn if-else. In real-life scenario, we may require solving multiple problems that may consist of multiple conditions. For example, you want to create a program that can give grades to the students depending on the marks they have scored. To handle multiple conditions in Python, we use the if-else statements. The if-else is used when we need to work with multiple conditions. In case of multiple conditions, the if-else does not serve the purpose. The if-else statements provide a compact way to handle multiple conditions. Program 4. Create a program to print the name of the day based on the value entered by the user. Let's walk through the code. Line 1. Use input and int functions to get the value. Line 2. Using the if statement, check if the value entered by the user is equal to 1. Line 3. If the condition in line 2 returns true, then print Monday. Line 4. Using the elif statement, check if the value entered by the user is equal to 2. Line 5. If the condition in line 4 returns true, then print Tuesday. Line 16. If none of the conditions are true, Then the statement written after the else block will work. Let us quickly have a look on chapter review. In a program, the statements are executed one by one in a sequential manner. Conditional statements are checks or constraints. After evaluation, the if statement returns either true or false. The if-else statement is used when we want to execute another set of statements, statement depending on the Boolean value returned by the if condition. The if-else is used when we need to work with multiple conditions. When the Python interpreter evaluates an if statement, it evaluates the condition first.